presidential candidate of the NPP, or almost started really judgment, you know. The signal said near Ekekakwe no ne betimi awie no. He quickly also summoned a party senior lawyers who are affiliated to the NPP Bebre, including the former deputy speaker Ira Jogate, Ira Godfrey Damian, also be the attorney general. Ira Jogate was attorney general under Kufo, and Ira Frank Davis, more Ira lawyer guy in Macron, and the top brass of the party's legal luminaries Bebre. Go through the judgment and then and then also further made some few directions known to the party. Say we are clear in our minds. Say it is the beginning of a long drive. He is clear in his mind that it was a political trial, and Bawumia is clear in his mind. Say the precedent that has been set is dangerous. So he instructed these senior lawyers of the party, together with Ira Atachamo, to join effort and join hands to make sure, say, two things that Ojidi said we have to pursue. One, a pending appeal on the case, submission of no case. Wontumi lawyers in the initial stages never up a court of appeal. Say yenya humwaya and sana judgment weba. And at the second instructions also awama to Nina colleague senior lawyers now to also pursue as a matter of urgency. And Nimenim here is also appeal against the judgment. That he in his mind, he thinks the judgment is defective. He thinks the judgment is defective. Now, if it's allowed to stand, now you're appealing using the right processes now, it has the tendency of setting a very dangerous precedent. And I don't know if I'm allowed to go into in an answer round about.
No, but
you know, there's this decided case about Loma, Solomon versus Solomon Company Limited. Solomon versus Solomon Company Limited. Now, I know the doctrine of separate legal personality. And in this, now, the essence of our ruling way of the court, a foreign case, was that once a company are duly registered and incorporated, no, that a legal person, the company will become a corporate, body corporate. It can sue and can be sued. And in that case, you know, we separated the company from the individuals. Into say a mining. Aquaco involve itself and as BBS in a quantum mining. You cannot say the personalities na ye nipa na ebiom directors, shareholders no will have to suffer the penalty for it. So it's a decided case. Now again, as in that case, I believe so a company will ne legal identity our original honum. So no so just can remove it as a company ye nipa. So the ruling of the court and Rano is quite a very dangerous precedent for Yemrano Kaka. And with this now, let me go into the judge relied heavily on circumstantial evidence. One rely purely on the evidence before it, and it's one of the bases I perceive the court tested the case or appeals court. And I'm saying this because so here's section 14.1 and section 99.2b. The assignment of mineral rights, it is by writing, express, and by deed of assignment. Until no minister no edi ade mawa or approve say you assigning way to you. Again, Mira Ora Erika for my senior colleague member of parliament got it totally wrong. Say Wontumi did not even have the mineral right. Why? Because the assignment, you know, the concession he's talking about in dispute. I know the he legally acquired the concession. And now let me say, I was very surprised you did not correct the honorable member of parliament, because you should have, because he legally acquired it. So, madam, permit me to also criticize you on that. It's only fair. Yes, it's only fair, because I have to set the record straight on what he said.
But when he said it, and I remember saying,
what he kept saying was that we should separate the two cases.
I remember telling him, say, even pay the judgments and all. Yen can't say well illegal mining. Well, maybe say I didn't ask a concession. It was legally acquired.
Because it was one statement he made, and it's a statement of untrue. And secondly, you know, what kind of judgments in Munana? The judge based her ruling on the fact that Wontumi assigned his mineral right from government and from the minister, assigned it illegally to a third party without a minister's approval. The state did not produce any evidence of this assignment of rights of Wontumi to this third party. It was never stated in it. Again, on Utie, the judge ne conclusion is what throughout over 150-page ruling document, the judge at no point in time says or convicted Wontumi say what involving himself in illegal mining. Because one, the state never provided any evidence say you was site or you say oil mining, you evidence say you saw excavators and also you say. So the prosecution in this case, buying a lawyer for only relied on the oral testimony of the third party saying so. Won't mean a case or Namindia abenia. Whereas the court, whereas the court, one part, and Uja one part, or for the one part was won't mean as young Koye Juma or na afis wundia kube, and of the Kubeno aspect and so. What we could because it's an afterthought. So clearly, and we think say I say what 10 whether near can you that's why we believe it was a political trial. And it's not going to last week. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Bia East, the Honorable Richard the Champion, but now baby and mimiti, because I'm a mate baby and not doctor, made a very serious statement. Or say, I think you be prosecuted bebre. So you can clearly see there's a whole political state being set. That notwithstanding, the NPP affirms its confidence in the judiciary. That doesn't mean the judiciary cannot get it wrong in its rulings. And when a court gets its ruling wronger, you have appellate structures you use to also remedy the situation. It is on the basis of this that we believe, say, we disagree with the decision of the court on this matter. We believe say the judgment was poor and defective. Yes, Sansujitum said the court relied only on circumstantial, relied on the testimony of one person, a third party, who did not produce or provide any evidence. Because if you are talking about assignment of right, the statutory condition is that it must be written. And the state did not produce any written document to me assigned the mineral right to this third party. So in that case, and the very sections that we also did not courtroom for 20 years. And mind you, this is not a civil case, a criminal. And in criminal justice system and jurisprudence, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Because the least doubt inures to the benefit of the accused. Until the state should have pushed further for the Henry Okumno to produce that evidence of Wontumi assigning that mineral rights to him. And secondly, when producing any evidence, be a video, a recording, a meeting, any express assignment of it. And so this decision, when allowed to stand, is set a very dangerous precedent for many people. Mind you, Mini Abema Mashiru Jeno Wakro, and I'll use him as an example because his constituency is a mining constituency. Akrofom is a mining constituency. Now you have people who own concessions who Akrofom. The facts in the only concession, and as I say, many artisanal miners, small scale miners, they don't normally own the concessions. They work on people's concessions. And what you are going to get is that any owner of a concession will have to drive away people. However, what we have to be interested in is the sustainable mining But as I say, you have ship house at your team UTV. Now BBC or AHA. You cannot say because Peace FM, UTV, and the Despite Group, owned by Oforisapon and despite nti boni bi asi wo premises ha omo ti omo fie no ye bet mum a triumph rather than the people like yachiom so mo di boni ne wa. And that is why this judgment is dangerous. But you see, it don't say people will think that the shoe is on another foot. You can't because the NPP ni nenya. It reminds me of the law of causing financial loss to the state. NDC Abreso and the share Samuel. Now, they ended up suffering the penalty of it. Now, NDC for. And this judgment, if you allow it to stand, anybody can target any NDC official who owns a concession. All I have to do is to make sure that one person arrest that person on a concession and say who assigned the right to you. Oh yeah, then I don't even need to prove that there was a written assignment to you. So
meaning any pan bit me a chantra
totally.
In this case, in
this case, the prosecution at every material point in time could not provide any evidence. And they actually want to me say, this is our evidence that Nia Papei can nokre because this was a meeting, and I say you signed this document and the hack of this portion amount say so it's a very dangerous ruling. Now eneno eme say ma shebe no dinamo ma Amenfi West ana Amenfi West Caso we are, people should not add emotions and all. The judgment itself was not based on evidence. The judgment itself was based on somebody's oral testimony. And that is a fact. And that is the government of the issue. And for the records, let me also state again, Wontumi was not jailed because he was doing galamsey. That must be established. And it is in the ruling. Judge, did not try and sentence Wontumi say mature for engaging in illegal mining. The court also admitted in evidence that the concession belonged to Wontumi and was legally acquired by Wontumi. But what the prosecution did not establish was that Wontumi yeche no was site so point A, point B, point C. Yehu so the excavators abaho. Yehu say or the two abaho. Yehu so ne abna chebuache obimpe dagate honorable Azuma and Sammi okumu and a buyer and it was never established throughout the process. So he was not tried and jailed for galamsey. And that is why we believe that the prosecution should have done a thorough job. And that is why we also believe that even the submission of no case, the call pending an appeal, it should have been determined
before the judgment. But he was tried on the basis to say will allow another person to use the concession for illegal. Let me give you a typical example. Menkai Moyaobi. There was an incident. I'm a live TV show. Somewhere 2024 or so. It was an evening program. And some people invaded the studio. The fact that allegedly a crime was committed here does not mean that you break it and obi a pra or despite new real for his upon or motive never say a senka every material point in time nanka more building. That is what it means. In simple terms, that is what the judgment means. Okay. Honorable Mama so. Honorable Zuma.
When you about Medasi. Mathieu Menia Sammi. They didn't come make us say Obiane wa Obompire main for instance say metamfo kra no yemfa no koto afiase. Enti meka say enye obiade Obia in jubilate say you do Obia kwakoto prison for 20 years. Because some more prison, no. I'm also to say and you can also go to prison at any time. But on mine and I said dear ma menka said dear ma one nipa difference wom eye emra sudi. On my am ready no. Sa mine no. Ye friend on mine. And here emra no for very tangible reasons. Say by your mind be to me akosu ye de amaye temra no e wo ho sa my ensign establishes that nobody is above the law. Obia ni so chambra. Politician no so for driver mate do onam kwan do anya adwuma. Emra no oka ho bi. Me no onim say na me free police station amba.
Sir.
Yes.
Aden.
Yeah, cheme.
So why you then?
My elite. And I may do sprinters or traffic.
Oh,
I say me ya me wo hwe anyi.
Na ye dey.
Me hwe me ya na me yes me use shoulder of the road. Police for cheme. Ene ya anopai. Ya de me call Manet police station.
Okay.
Emma me control my statement. Ya je my licenses. And I'm aba. Yes, I introduced myself as a member of parliament. But I am rase ukika onam kwan ya ma so. Enye mrase so
and so would you too say we am from
so. Oh yeah, my am from so.
Okay.
Enti mra na ye den achi me. Watch mra na chi me no me gitum say yes. Matomra. Acho what you say. So obia ni wa so chemra. Se wubu mra so amra be chew. Enti and emrano so under this government is not selective. Any selective intino. And I mean yasame ba no one breachy driving rule bia and wabedu ha. Ba media me breachy and yacheme. Sammi a minority MP. Me a majority MP, my party is in government. One mum raso yeche no. Say I'm finding go police station. Some walk police station no pay. On koi. Enti yemma enna ho say anaye nyina yenjin tumu say eyemra na eye nadwuma.
Okay.
Enunti na yeche anase emra no so menua anase me chairman because I'm coming from the Ashanti region. So he's my chairman. So no mu no. Your man the opportunity by law no. The right for defense. No nya lawyers to the extent that do by bikra yewie case ni nyina no. O say lawyer na o de no call asem no kra no. O fi say niema bi nti o person say na lawyer. Ye ma ne kwan. E ma ne say na lawyer. Na samra boy case no. Mate say me nua na mo ka about evidence bi any ho say o ma PW 2 no. Or sub or man any written you can say
to go assigning
assignment to be a but court no prosecutor need to me prove beyond reasonable doubt. So what told was now the political lens any be ato in China because since I ruling no e ba nra no but we say you nuanom amade na ye more of party politics than say you better your boss ni ya ready judge ruling ni ye bi kura ho mo ready because I will ready now ready ni year assignment oh yeah you know for instance wa boy nipa no ama wanya excavators dey akoso who ready brief facts na oboy ama omunya excavators eye PW2 nya excavators o you see ne letterhead e de my region no efa nipa na okoye adwuma no it is in the case I will no use ne letterhead akonta man na use ne letterhead dem W2 e ma ne call Western Regional Coordinating Council say asumasi mama no kwan se wonye adwuma wo ho admit say o ma o mo kwan say PW2 no onye reclamation na wondua ye kan say kube coconut enya assignment ni be no PW2 o ma no kwan say baabi a onya mine ye no o mine no onfa nye reclamation no offer a planting of the coconut. Any assignment in the bill.
A written assignment, and I say
whether written or not written. Say been previous. I am ra and a year. But say Obiaba UTV. Now your man a contract. A year written contract. But I dare change betanaha. Na ono na host program no show. Ye me yin free ha. But yetimi ya dance e kire say verbally. When no was our agreement ne so metana ha. Ye say written am munti wo betana ha. Na wo ye bibia ye ntimi mfa campaign no a eye UTV no. Emfa mra kwan so. Is that what we want to they want to tell us? They want us to understand. No. Emwa wo de share mu ni bibia o ye ne enema o ye using the letterhead facilitating in getting excavators to the site any ade nyina no e kire say ono ade man no kwa so onye adwuma no na yemfa bibia anto nkan ne yenka say why na nim say Wontumi oye galamsey ni kese e wo mamu a na oye galamsey mo ankasa government no before mo government ni free power the then lands minister kama issue no ba ye no e kan say niam a Wontumi ye no e illegal mining Chatam na menua Abujinapo and the minister.
Abu said that.
Okay. I think me Google the amount is here.
I never heard that.
Okay.
But you are saying
I will search for it because
on record.
On record. I think we can get it online.
Abu said that Wontumi was doing galamsey.
Yeah, that Akonta mining is engaging in illegal mining. And the government na nkasa kra the Sammi Awuku government because na hodi ma akotene NPP government na do dan kwaku for the Bawumia government na do ka say akonta man and engaging in galamsey no the last minister contradicted.
Okay.
Professor Frimpong Boateng na ya o de bae no what read about akonta mining na involvement in galamsey na Wontumi prove my hu ba bi okoyi gold no oyi gold ahodo de to ni TV station obeye bi wo Paula Domo chiranim or about 3 or 4 radio TV stations. Oyi rare money this is rare solid money my friend say Sammi.
Oh the can we
me pesa wo boa me say
yeah
for. Oh man I say the solid money you say no. I will yi be free bag no that to no say you no nya gold no ever.
Na ono say share the
one name say
neba say we share the wakoti sisi honorable Abujinapo die I can say former president and so be can say
yeah and I will have from Paul Boateng na yi no mu a
na enei no say we share you know judgments aye nyina ye ready a one can say akonta mining illegal
onye direct illegal nyo no na ye o wa de na omo ye na say ko concession or say aban ne ba he or revoke or something obia concession and ahodo no mo ye say small first mining sector no ye be regularizing ama illegal mining no I think 2017-18 ho baby obia licenses ye revoke ye omo wie ye no mo cheche dem omo nkofo these are open secret.
Me na me person me who say you know
yeah dem a omo wie ya de omo ya ne say me ya so mati me wodi ma kwaje concession no
me ba
me na me din da so na me de aman ko 40 so ya galamsey
don't say the nature ya say me person me who say e conform with president na based on nsemo a painful ni bi aka any reporter workers Professor Frimpong Boateng report now the that one my year discussing and any nyina pair na
what separating na better na ye because galamsey asem na ye ka
no me can the illegal
illegal concession why the illegal concession and odi am obi illegal activities etia o man no na mra na omko amende ye I think 2022 no
2019
is it 2019
we say
new one now you don't need to be directly involved in doing the galamsey before
if you're facilitator the nebula
exactly So if you facilitate, oh boy, and in this case, you don't need to be the one doing the illegal activity. But the fact that it can be established that you were the one facilitating, actual.
Okay.
And in this instant, or facilitating, and that Okomwa, it may be evidence where the one I make a choice say, the CNN is that. Yenche concessions no my uncle for. Yen you would yen yaba yaje. Near the amanko for no more yen no more the aba. I get on my way the entire young coy nim I no crack. I nipam peka. Young pen cracker. And ye assemble. And ye tete chirasa ye pabun cano credintia. Yes, sir. NPP for na nim. So mo chairman Wontumi oye galamsi.
Okay, matse.
Oh na meta mo no de oye menyanya kwata wo.
Hey,
and I say
what kasa more than they
do. Men kasa sa ba wo de mefa me sa nti na me wo de Matias me no ni so de oni say de wo ma say me so be pa say but me see form no. Nti o ka corporate veil won ya asem say like me kai de wo sika na ya but
saying treaty was as an
yes. Can treat him as company, a legal and separate entity with that right to. But this is the case that I can't mine no company nankasa no. O breachy, so wo breachy emra. I was a veil me protected. They will remove the veil.
So was your judgment.
You don't. Yes. And who had judgment no more. It is stated clearly. Say no annual meetings. Let me search for that one. Omonya annual meeting, board meeting ni ho we ni ho. So now the name of the company no and na wo ho na nipa na omo ye de ye omade.
Operating.
That is the reason why sa corporate veil no nya adwuma. That legal entity no nya adwuma wa. Me ni asame. And but if omo dwen say omo was solid defense, fine enough. That is why they have right to appeal. But more than would freeze 5 years and they call 15 and 25 years. And we need to protect our lands.
But do you think say it was a mistake someone made the law from 5 years to?
I'm going to call 100 quite a mistake.
Okay.
Because I was your boy manager per day home by.
Me that say.
Now and Matisse a man for busa say enti ye che Wontumi ni galam say stop and ye che ata you no kroma stop.
Okay, Matisse me that say. We didn't say you're being sarcastic, okay? You're being sarcastic, I
am saying, but I am not a I am
no one will say, no, what do you
Kachano Maze, this one was on the assembly bar. You,
I don't want to say,
Kachano Maze, this one was that dog really is your becoming.
Yeah.
Many problem. So we are service
men start na men quite to be a creepy or honorable Zuma statement. I mean, you're entirely wrong, but about honorable Jinapo ne some kind of a mining. My check from the records and the statement honorable making was that as someone another kind of Nanado, or Kende Akuntaman, as he speaks, is not engaged in illegal money. No mum. On the investigation be a warrior fan who be no will be jay. That is the statement Honorable Jinapo Omeki.
That's what I recall. Tina name
don't worry, you proceed.
Just for the sake of education.
The station 2 cannot be sued. It is important.
Are you seeing me?
But once it's factual, there is fair.
But on a more serious note, it is important today, as Ghanaians, issue no just on the surface of judgment na wabano, but we look at what is involved, now what it means, another damn judgment no what it means for the Ghanaian public, another for hen Amaya Sumayari, and of course hen Galamsey in Koma using for so many years now. Abna fact, and take a box being tentam na yon konkomo no do. Fact is that Galamsey or a big problem on the neck of Aban. Galamsey or a big problem or how Ghana for. Galamsey or a big issue both hena etsen kan ha huna hena yokroka sim hena we krasi nano or a big issue osan hen su sama sisia wa ya basa osan hena sa sama abna ay basa I mean yenye asasa is ban easy asase between Zaya and the papa bebre no yere say no or your problem Ghana fu na bajatum de or hwadwen or Galamsey a big problem o Sunday he na him there sisi oba ne yere ba ho nsam in the way hen kidney issues na I mean chronic diseases why bebre wo Ghana ha just some few
just mesrewo issue I'm say about ewa ha nti say bit my clear ma me ready bibi kakra Lands Minister stop company from mining in Tano Numeri Forest. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, has directed the Forestry Commission to halt the operation of Akwanta Mining Limited in the Tano Numeri Forest Reserve. An official statement has said, the directive is coming on the back of concern raised by civil society groups, including Arucha, Ghana, over illegal mining in the forest reserve. A statement issued by the Lands Minister Friday, 30th September said the company has no mineral right to undertake mining operation in the Tano Numeri Forest Reserve. The attention of the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources has been drawn to publication about certain operation by Akwanta Mining Limited in the Tano Numeri Forest Reserve in Manfi West Municipal in the Western region. Records available to the ministry shows that whilst Akwanta Mining Limited has a mining license to undertake mining operation in some part of Samraboy, outside the forest reserve, the company has no mineral right to undertake any mining operation in the Tano Numeri Forest Reserve.
But some of them say Tano Numeri I remember some lawyer and the appear could be some time back have a interview man can say Akwanta Mining any concession or Tano Numeri Forest.
And I think that beyond that
case also before the court.
Yes.
The timing is here. I mean the timing of the context because it means January 2023. But so it depends on also when which issue.
Well, then year. The statement then she year. Dog then year 2023 February.
Yeah, Ghana way.
So you hold the
me fair the amount.
What I think that you can able to my one. What's at it no? Here na ejitum there. Galamsey or a big problem in Ghana. Ono ye something na here na able to check now currently. If you do your hen forest, I mean for some time now, being destroyed. If you do your hands to somewhere, I mean every Ghanaian is worried. Ghana and you're happy about the way our hands to some especially work. I mean, I can mention the institutions. Ghana Water Company, as we speak now, they are still struggling to give us good water to drink, all because of Galamsey. Until we can talk about the issues. That problem, no, as it should be, I think they are struggling to deal with it. Now, just also to make my point,
So September 30th, 2022.
Okay.
The site, Ashanti Radio.
So meaning this was 2022.
Yes.
The dog there was latest.
2023.
Okay.
2023. That's in response to after Akufo-Addo about my statements. Okay. Honorable, thank you. In that respect, even the current minister, as early as 19 February 2026, and one of his statements in Parliament about the issues with Galamsey and what he expects from government, both the NPP and NDC in Parliament. Now, after indicating all the problems and all the issues, I have it here in record there about 5 MPs, from Honorable on the side will make his statement in response to Honorable Ni complaints and the Ni Kasaba kind of parliament concerning how Galamsey are and I can mention the current, I think, Takrady MP. He was then the Kobe, yes, or trader Kumensa. I can mention Patrick Yabuama, Mabo Matthew Yindam, that is Pandai, and then here Ahmed Shaibu, yes, Jerry Wager. They all, we said that me take you through, me share on, and they all supported there indeed. Galamsey issue, no. Or a big problem, they need the support of all and sundry to fight it. And I'm reading what Jerry said categorically in his statement, and I'm quoting Jerry from the parliament's side. Also, Mr. Speaker, it is devastating. That's from the Hansard. Yes, Hansard. Mr. Speaker, it is devastating, and our water bodies are getting contaminated by day. We are facing or being confronted with serious health issues. People are dying. We are giving birth to stillborn children. Our forests are all getting eliminated. In my constituency, Wager Bawe, the water is getting damaged and contaminated just because of Galamsey. If we do not take certain serious steps and move away from politics, and I want to and move away from politics, we will not be able to buy water to drink. If we do not move away from politics, or some sort of politics being, whether one is in the executive, legislature, or judiciary, and do not see the need to stand by the minister, okay, so Galamsey is killing people on quotes, now the two of them. Now, why am I bringing this discussion here, Abna? I'm bringing this discussion as my intro because he na to me there, Galamsey no yaza or him. Now, fact check 2. What are the underlying issues? Another even common even factors. No, Galamsey no orkodo. Ya can once be for many years. Me just abna one Galamsey command. I'm sure you are tired. Because you can always trying to know the cause. The reason why Galamsey no orkodo into me and so on. Abna not to say so much, but me say me whole 3-4 years of PhD thesis. Me on politics and Galamsey. Non-environmental issues. It's beyond my yekanwo, and I know based on research there, one fundamental issue, one Galamsey no orkodopa, only there, akasefo, mpanyinfo, politicians, MPs, mpanyinfo, what she says, said you record site room there or just site or kita second another kita or drive excavator another baby no other to Galamsey, but was she achieved by supporting them resources, excavators and machines that was there. These are things America me to discover from my own research. But beyond that, there a lot of uncommon brain wide and wakodo concerning how I pay for brain now what take Galamsey. If nothing at all. In Ayabaka NPP time, my Central Region former NPP Vice Chair, Honorable Horace Ewusi, right? Ewusi, yes, from Central Region. This is NPP time, and Abna Professor Frimpong watching a 37-page report mentioned names, and we can mention all the names. I have the names here with all the things, but you see, most important thing there, people like Sir John of blessed memory, from Funny Crazy. A lot of names were mentioned. Even today, 2026, NDC time, Yabo, Honorable Joseph Yamin. These are all alleged. In paying fire, they feel it there. They're suspected there. Were involved in Galamsey. Now, the reason I'm not NDC MPP, because NDC, I can mention Yakubu Abanga, who is the third vice chairman, national third vice chairman, the whole NDC as a party. Joseph Yamin, national organizer, currently or the
we don't have first, second, third vice chairman. Vice chairman. Okay, that's it. Thank you for that.
And so many other names. So what I'm saying in there, both the NDC side and the NPP side, no, clearly you can see there are big guys who have been alleged they were involved in Galamsey. And the point is that these are the issues, sir. Science, research, prove that yes, Galamsey nature word and or bomber more kodo in crossing or kodo. Sebio, the young boys out there, no, Abna every tumpa na over there, Wobenya excavators, or Wobel says, Kawaza, I mean, those are in your man who there, they are expensive to do. And see, I did to day, forces be more in nature. But what we have really found problematic in there, Miss Mobile, I able so osimesi and now being timid, hey, I want to tie them crofun which in Siabacho. That was one of our biggest problems. On internet session, I'm saying, Commoner, as at last year, for example, current minister will pay or can't pay in there. There are so many cases, about 800, but just about 40. No, so far, way too much than what prosecute. It tells you there, on your simple, on your easy there, what to fish out, especially the key kingpins are, I'm saying, no, than Oracle. But the point is that these are the realities. Forces be oiden or now, my oma nkomowe to us, and I hear what you pre day, Galam same common, able to ya swano no. Oma hear what you don't come in there, Abna. Whilst I yapade ye two problem nas, and indeed, Mamman can see baby there. President John Dramani Mahama Nankasa this year, Wabba kind of pay there. Or Jesus part another day or information that Nankasa name pay for Canada industry for crowd or supporting Galamsey. So the point is that the political nature of Galamsey but the issue now is there, Yebenya, that strong commitment there. Obiara penini biara oti echibia no yebutumi ya den ya chi na fi ya punishing them member ne say the means in the course of your crop time chairman Wontumi in case in bed were trying for allegedly involved in collection as at that time, you know. I was part of it. And I'm sure that will say, well, eco-conscious citizen, Darobosu, Maramunia Erastus, sorry, Donko, we are on the same platform.
Okay.
We're happy about it because at least some...
No, government WhatsApp platform are very different.
What do you say?
Government WhatsApp platform and a way different.
Oh, yeah, different. But
the government WhatsApp platform.
The government platform, yeah.
So no CSOs in the to facilitate easy communication.
Oh, yeah, eco consensus.
I just wanted to establish. But I don't make us on
for the record. It's another point I'm making there. We were happy. There at least big fish is not the bear can no. You one case at least the person is being trialed. I'm not a lawyer and I'm no on but minerals and mining law only because of my mining background entire no can the report judgment I'll be match that I do technical terms easy it lawyers who has some I mean Abna and you met Sanamebu chairman Wontumi for the judge in kind of 9 one way I'm bringing him for now wasn't there in summer a prosecutor was called to him no Washington was in Brano was at to home and one Casa United day chairman Wontumi or concession no was the Nutum Numa Ubia one family and one for 2 one find and one family back on easy and let me clarify something for honorable I think the honorable done as something kakra the thing is that say minimum concession this is my concession na say me peda meze half meze mo bi na oye mine and oye any activity wada I my responsibility I mean make it original concession no I my responsibility there ma to one monoma minister no with written all the processes or is in the document na I catch a minister assassin as mom na mbeji if you there me peda me mining wado no peda meze kakra Mizima abna nano so ozizu kakra. Into minister mam tumuno na mfamano. Then the minister will give you a written permit the oyampa baby aza baby anu maja tuminti jina fuck me amene sisi anu wotum da botum zama ipakondo on heden on ye mining wado. Okay.
Doc, for the records, Wontumi also rejected that assertion throughout. That he never assigned those writings on quiet mining.
But here's the case.
That was very considered from the time he wrote his statement at the police throughout the trial and everything.
But honorable, there was no evidence also there of making them application to the minister.
No, because he didn't assign. To him, so he didn't assign any right to the third party.
But
that's what he's contested.
In the judgment, in the judgment, it was indicated there. Sorry, I'm not able to.
The court said nipa no kodua kube was no. Wontumi said that
for
the purpose of reclamation. The court then rejected Wontumi's assertion that the no momu ye afterthought.
Okay.
The court rejected that okay, yes, Oduedu and Kube was so, but then that's afterthought because no I am mining was so that.
Nti Wontumi time on nipa no oye Oduedu Kube no Yahweh.
No Yahweh. That's what Wontumi has maintained throughout. No. I said he was not aware of mining. And that's where our contention is that the state should have proved that indeed you assigned him to also mine.
That has been proved in the case.
No. What you spoke about was that he facilitated.
Yes.
But you also did not say Wontumi facilitated. Also, Akonta mining facilitated. Now, me kind the decision in the Solomon versus Solomon Company Limited that separate the body corporate of a company is a legal entity, can sue and be sued.
So
its directors.
So he was not in any.
He was using the letterhead. I know you're contaminated.
Yeah, exactly.
But informally.
But informally is what you haven't proven.
Physical engagement. It has been proven by the letters.
The state was not able to prove the point. Say, Akonta mining Wontumi.
I entreat Ubia say, let's read the judgment. Let's put political lenses aside.
And if you are putting the political lenses aside, anyway,
I demonstrated to you, sir, you may not need, it's not all the time you need a written assignment.
This one, the law is clear.
But even this one, the law
is clear that it has to be by written,
by writing
yes,
to the minister. Yes. But in this, even in this instance, where he used the letterhead to even tell the Western Regional Minister or the ministry to facilitate in the excavators, moving the excavator to the site and it is.
But Okase, in assigning of rights in mineral under minerals and the Mining Act, it has to be expressed and
right,
and the law is clear about it.
Yes.
My contention is that OTM political lenses and look. Minia former organizer. Sorry, doctor. Say doctor. Say discuss. No. So doc, we are saying about me.
Alongside dog, why your presentation?
Organizer, emphasize them. You know, now you organizers point emphasize them.
No, I think you what's my schedule?
No, doc. My contention is that look, Galamsey is devastating to our environment, and they put the politics aside. Doc, we share people being born with deformities near the day, and the contention the whole ecosystem near. But then the government steps will take, the man that you have arrested, tried and jailed, you didn't jail and try him for Galamsey. So that in itself, you haven't sorted out the issue of Galamsey. That's what I want us to put the political lenses on.
I'm sorry. Let me also come in here. Since you are Galamsey, as we are talking about the law.
That's right.
And there's one thing there. You know, original assassin do not own to gold. That is what we typically refer to as them Galamsey.
True.
But beyond that, there are other provisions. If, for example, you support. If there's an evidence there, I facilitate my obi ayagalamseya. Also, a facilitating per the law. You are what's the word? Corporate, right? Yes.
You are culpable.
You are culpable. Only a one. Two. Even the foreigners. I mean, okay, then I have facilitation. Even in terms of buying and selling, say any permit. I said you can occasionally assassin the or to go do, but. Or another.
Doctor, you are talking about the ingredients of a crime.
Yes, exactly.
And in the criminal justice system, in a criminal prosecution, the least doubt in a case, because criminal is conviction.
Yes. So you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt.
Prove beyond reasonable. To any small window, the person can go home acquitted and discharged.
True.
And we don't go to court with hearsay. You don't go to court with emotion. You go there to also adduce evidence. It's not sometimes you can sit down and say, BBS siwa. I do a party abnane. But abna I will have to prove. Say abna I say. Not because in the exercise of even discretionary powers. In the exercise of discretionary powers under Article 296 of our Constitution. So by exercise here, it should be devoid of personal dislike, emotions, or resentment.
Sure.
Send you down now really on the fact, on the face of the evidence and the fact of the case. Now, because it's going for an appeal, And the NPP has indicated said they will use the legal process to go for an appeal. I wouldn't like to go into the substantive matter because they say because jinch remubium our court so saying high court no. I believe say yes we have Samra kwan so. But in this current form, ruling way no, it has the potency because mind you, if it stays, any future government will target opposition element be or mining concession constituency. Yes, because mind you, meaning it's MP. Or MPO. But if the be cost one the constituency, not even me they can unknowingly. Patron and coffee some could do any adewaha. Or no MP, but here you may not be on the ground there. Like I say, what fret or more be a rather district forestry officer whatsoever. Now assemble that here once or your MP, our castle, now in coffee some baby do any other one for the Nian Koshe. He's culpable, and that is what this really means. It means you'll be not so can't deal with once more. Don't think about just today. A crapping for baby. Almost say a you guantin say or receive here when the uguantin sheep is littering. But to name or receive need because before the droppings best of them, a fat through the tail. And that's why I think this decision in this current form is perverse and erroneous.
Okay. No. It's part of it too.
Medicine.
My time now.
Oh, don't say over. We have
no,
we had a discussion. Oh, that's same day. No,
yeah, discussion. And say, "Obi any time." So as a when Obi fish also chipping something, if that is what we are doing, fine.
Because three is about.
There's some I know. Only just organizer or some communicator. And we combine it two now. What you did body. Because then I said on your on a time now all year. As or say be moon I said or my or lecture.
I reject the assessment from my colleagues. They combine communication organizing the body. Or not way, not your organizer. Hello, dear Kutu or not your organizer. We've been on the streets. And no sound so we are diabolic and propaganda.
Diabolic is no
it's an enemy the same stuff from organizers and the other to operate and
you know, Sammi has succeeded. Say, or my seven can be cry.
Well, we see
what
what
is that?
No, but before.
Also, the back of Median,
blackmail, you know, or set up piano the ball. Son of the Alex, the MP or the same thing.
What's for the purpose of education? Next time, I'm in it. And make the as they said, Dr. Beidu Okaye, that may be son say, so what concession, I say, even though their ma obi said Nipano and reclaim it on dear Kube, it was so crampona. I think, say, you owe it a duty, say, Obaqua say,
exactly,
indeed, the Nipane and the sanity, the Nipane before, or say a bano, criminal law. To me and transfer or be born and find check or be saying you have to deal with the person now with the body. But here is the case, Sani pardon now or no about a prosecution witness. And yes or not dear why you know in chain and at the no momono was so only motion no mona ye de
say Obi or my muha before I say we judgment we ruling waiver. The rush to scrap videos I'll call ho echo ye be. Na ye even a do cry ye bo on any team or more call ye near calls a free a kind of say above I'm kind of say order from above a confirm say I yes say ye any idea a clear what the fine chair any na seven previous and you Emrana ye can hold us na idea no. Your duty of care, responsibility be what was so. Say okwaji baby say eh what they are. So be back UTV ha na asem to na. The owner of the premises. Emrano e hye no say kodi ne ma 2 years. Wan fa ne ma 2 years na asem che ye yin film anye in fact you hold responsible. What you say? Yantu ya boss in here read me say, what has some presentation now why na? Na chere say, oh, ya family kwan so kra na ye de pia me chairman de no ko share afiase. Me hwe Sammi din a Sammi kra betimi aye de akwa pay no betimi aye lead council. Pay the all kind if the all kind sanity I recommend Sammi as the lead council for the appeal. We share evidence, we have fact, the brief no. Now we share the cross examination. You can't say chief
star witness another.
No. Evidence in chief.
Evidence in chief.
Now we have cross examination now. Sometimes you don't need to admit. So admission not admitting that may illegal mine no exonerative free from the charges or from the whatever. But the prosecutor no you see the scale.
So to extract that from
or extract it from you. It is proven beyond reasonable doubt. And that is what happened. Wontumi will never admit that Oye Galamsey. Na sebe imperials. Why na in na normal year obekwa ko gina court aka say na me ye Galamsey. But the film buy na evidence no. Approve say ampa. Wo the way kan asodom. And say say obekwa appeal and as almost obekwa appeal. But ye use our political threat and tomorrow is pregnant and everybody is potential of a union free.
So Opche on the 3rd of June.
Yeah,
I don't know if the government know that you already sentenced Wontumi.
How? How government, the executive is different from the judiciary. Okay. They have separate legal affairs.
So on the 3rd of June, NDC communicator Niama Amatefio on the Facebook. From what I'm hearing, this was on the 3rd of June.
And I like what I'm hearing. For me,
from what I am hearing,
yes,
meaning what you people hear from
the what I'm hearing.
From what I'm hearing, and this is a decision supposed to be made by a judge in an ongoing trial. It looks like he will be running the rest of the regional chairmanship campaign and watch even matches from Nsawam.
Matches, World Cup matches, and other matches.
So this was June 3rd. This was when the court did set the date. For judgment.
Okay,
and mind you, Wontumi's judgment was supposed to have been read on the 3rd of July.
So what are you driving at?
Oh, no, maybe this was one government communicator.
Okay.
Or they told Edujita Maklo, your NDC legal advisor, or say delete this. But we already had taken screenshot. Another NDC communicator, Mr. Pai, also on the same day, 3rd of June 2026, Wontumi will go to jail. This was another NDC. Then again, Oba, subsequently, one guy called Shea, also another NDC activist on social media. Wontumi goes to jail on July 3rd. Mind you, the judgment would have been read on July 3rd. If you piece these things together, we need to be careful with the way you psych people and Abia. I don't want to believe they just sat down to write the ruling with the NDC communicators. But if you piece the commentary leading to Wontumi's sentencing, it gives the NPP the impression. It gives the NPP the impression that clearly the judgment was politically motivated. It gives the NPP
during the campaign. During the campaign, may monitor from afar. Even not the campaign, the primaries. Unity I say Sammi person or call Akuapem is it North, Echo contest here. Make I say obey me.
Okay.
We had the near my corner.
Now no can away.
Na me electoral commissioner
or your friend.
Friend of the constituency.
The constituency. And you know, you say I think the MP Udane. If you have a contest by before
relocate here.
Will be the Pamon man. So sometimes
something that you have to condemn.
Court proceedings, and yet restricted to say obi ntimi nkotena court won tie de ekoso.
It was never shown on TV.
Before, so
no, it was not shown on TV. But me pass from the thing from what I'm hearing.
Enranapa so no. According to lawyer and the Piekubi, or say before judgment in Ebeba no. Chema Wontumi ekasa on 3 occasions. Or catch and say ni intela when ya say.
What someone yet meba, what someone yet out about your phone pewasem. Mamimba. Court asem can ya can one deal. Ye can brebebre na ya can say ya giant case. Meba. Amount for court oko tie de eko. No mo ba. Ya can one sem. Say we can say cross examination we you say. Enti obia obetna ba bia ka say na onim say ye de Wontumi betum bia no. You based on the na ekoso court awate.
But lawyers also also can bet on the last dollar say not one na so won da say
lawyer be
and the appear could
na wo person ko be ka say lawyer appear could be wo person ko be ka say no nim say be jailing the client.
Enti are you saying say almost so na mo court ni nyina so mo nyina so na
eno mo nyina
enya adwene so
eno mo nyina ye hwe bo a ye hwe matcha obi awo ni
because
because am match here ko ye nim say ye dan ya team we dey na Argentina and Egypt omobo before quarter final so ma baby me flip chamber call my office na Egypt lead 2-0 na ya about 65th minute or so and me police oba my office the friend so we make match no office so nti oba na o say hey Egypt call na am say Egypt call Argentina team na me hwe wo mo no say Egypt anti-man kuta omo lead num out to 85th minute na one goal back Argentina be win match and it happened until you court any ekotie any ehu de ekọ in fact ebia didi rush to Summonds amount for report how my year about Wontumi ni issues no ho ana court ho asem so ba na amount for kotie amount for
the Erastus report what you be about the NDC Ashanti Regional Chairman what you be about Abanga what you be about I know they want to be
about really where your court we chira bobodi say Mrs. say enti mususu say judge ni can leaky the judgment na
they said the post you made several NDC communicators and yes almost to one place
enti mo so ana mo ka say Wontumi yemfa no ntum no onko jail no say kan so buy ka mo so munya mo so so
quote one a year on social media the day after the court set judgment date for judgment man one NPP communicator or be commenting on it
me ka communicate but one communicate social and in any case baby already here no how about education no
as you
say Facebook or WhatsApp
you are very scandalizing the court say court yeah delete this I can say
you dey work say
Eduji as a lawyer
you are capable of doing people are not doing Eduji.
Eduji himself told the guy to delete it because the amount to scandalizing
why did he
is it just not just it should be sent to manifestly okay it's verified it's verified o me ka for no kan boni o no catch your communicator delete
na me so on ka boni kwa bia na nyo
no mama me
what's honorable I mean I'll look at the commenter Eduji I mean that some of you can see here I'm equally also looking at friend lawyer Nankasa Piekubi ne actions even before the judgment itself honorable don't you also think the lawyer also didn't do him any good by at that time
lawyer no mu say so we heard the nema AC call any the kind of banter na o filisa wan share na because the ono ne ho ahi akwa sign the client no that's a reason
until ono frame no ya 20 years no
o man na withdraw ye no no nka about it just because no o ka say just the way na same the
so if metima badoka inuma obi our right to counsel of his choice per our constitution no nipa no ejidi say abna na beboamia mekwa akofa na lawyer
but he the case a lawyer na kasa na withdraw you
exactly
until Afachi also came in at almost the final stage of it that notwithstanding them can be earlier say
the flag bearer of the NPP and also no in that high-powered meeting with the senior lawyers of the party has also directed NPP for now the government has arraigned them before the high-profile cases and that of former appointees of the Akufo-Addo administration, the political approaches. You may have your right, or say your right to counsel the Oho, but don't know lawyer Nina. You also have to make sure say you are briefing the party's legal directorate and the senior lawyers. They can also help you and anchor it. I don't want to comment on lawyer Pierre Kubi's approach to the case because lawyer Bia on the approach to a case. Ubo this or confrontation right from the word go. Ubo so just be an tactics in the courtroom. Be as it may, it was be as it may. Madam, I mean we don't know about them. Just be as it may. Wontumi had this right to a counsel. And no choosing on any best here. It do a point in time, the lawyer on the case decided, looking at the courtroom, he feels another lawyer in. So Makari said the new position of the candidate and the party is that regardless of the case you are involved in, there should be a central point or some senior lawyers to advise you and the counsel you have taken. Because almost all my direct law, they've seen the courtroom gymnastics. So almost be say, hey, a bebo near hey. And now I do need a team, and that's why you caucus to as a team. That's
couldn't those have come far earlier than before the judgment? But as a party, you followed the proceedings.
Attachment coming on board was also based on the advice as well.
It was too late.
The TNS say, info
from Adabaka.
But my being now, yeah, no one does.
Hearsay or my money.
Hearsay. Info says, send almost Munya, Binya info, say, you will be good. I don't know, there was such a moment to me now, attacks. Call.
Judge,
no, counsel for the first counsel, lawyer, appear could be so. So what's that? Why ain't hire ma? Yeah, the papa na to movie.
Sana more intel among.
Yes, Omuko meeting. Omuye meeting.
Here for
Sammi and Kobe, but okay.
NPP for now.
I am on planning for no emergency meeting. Said I know Omuye bino. And almost say appear Kobe. Because case
so the allegation now
no money say committee may use legal one
Mrs. say allegation now you
say allegation almost why you be able na you hear
but you hear no way Mira no way
and almost specialized person in terms of delaying court proceedings yet it say almost say there was specializing yes, careful.
In
delaying proceedings. Hey, attaching us.
So no.
The captain of the league. Made us an amazing to maintain us. Say no credit. I late. And we do the late. My fan come.
I can't credit.
Anything I'm going to find a buy. To buy a car, what you say? Oh, yeah. But now are too late? Are too late? Because the same appear could be.
There was no meeting like that.
No, but don't forget, so the other cases, a lawyer and the appeal could be.
And to have a strategy be of boys home could use.
No, for someone defeat on one.
What to that?
Say,
me a shock or more can say. Won't you say, won't you say, Bob one also and some more say, I want to know concern. I check.
Omunim the because and one on that.
Omunim say case no till me say you flower him fe na obedi fo a udi fo a wo kwa wunim
nti now a omo a dey to just so they will appeal no say ko ban say judgment he omo overturn would you be surprised about that?
Well me judge sorry lawyer me LLB kra me nya me certificate I think I may try to say
a lawyer.
Me
a judge.
I think I may try me certificate. I could apply. And to me the entry. But for the meantime, for instance, you know I able to ma boa gare kakra, emo kakra, we kakra because Ashanti regional NPP chair. Who you can become in person and make heaven. Na yankopo be ka say oda you say you see am ya ma yenu ya ma.
And you go command money
for sure. You will command be. because I am from Ashanti.
Kacha no man say this one was soon.
And Mene, ye chairman of the caucus of Ashanti, NDC. Ejura MP.
So we more constituency. Original chairman, so yeah, na nkofo dia dey no bi fa no.
Yeah, dey betimi bi ani organize bi kakra dia koma no. So yeah, appeal na nya me boa no a. No obafia, why not? Ye kushia na ye nyina be kwa kushia no bi. Me ko bi. Na ma kushia no bi. Say nyame ayi na free so hwem. But for now na dey. Afia ase no Yesu Kristo tam kra o ba ase na wo ho. Eni ti wo hu say ye dey obi akoto afia ase a obi ankwa ye issue. Nti afiase no e wo ho fitete e de ma omo an beto mra.
Okay, nti we enye new okay.
Nti ye nyina ye de tu ya mofo ye nyina de tu ya mofo say bi nya political power ye nsusu fa ensansi ebo na ye nimu mra so because e ye denya accountability day bela
beba I'm happy so there no aba
beba ana say ye do ye political party enimu nipa aya ye nkan kire ye party fo no bia omo ye niam bia ye in excess of mrani to me ne say de mu ye e dia say beba o ade ba ko wo say ye nua no MP before ye ne say mu se nipa na ko ba bia nya ama mo ntwa ma no nkotom na mo nsan konko gene mba e bra mo ko no nyina na nka wo say mo ye de mo twene ba niam bia wontumi ye nya yesusa me kura me ye say bi o menye ye kura no de amehwe na wo yiyi ayi gugu ho eye se ne sane ma no wo ye ni nyina no o tutu na mo si ba bia
efi se na separate emotions from ruling
when emotions
but and separate conduct from evidence
e de ma ye nyina
o de no be bom a e be ye cocktail
evidence ya prove e wo ruling
one kan ya mean asem no ma say one kan banga so de
ya mean na banga asem ya mfa ma me say ya meka ho asem wa ha.
So no, then you
make a questions, mommy.
Boni din or Red Cross case.
Now we are the crack religious and moral education. I don't deviate a question. You don't deviate.
Into your national organizer. You
gave us Wontumi. And I will host a production team. They gave me Wontumi. Wontumi is
but doctor cannot cause you the other year partisan abi
and to me question for na me you candidate o deviate question who deviate na ma be ha na ma chance na me so we try
na me say time me me
who your candidate or no dey buy
ya bo mo Ashanti
we are candidates.
You've had joined from UTV near the report on NBC Apparatchiks. Oko Odan the MC. No,
different. You are parliament. I will invite him to office. You better ask him. And you want to invite him to
can say time I'm in honorable Afo Ekasai. I mean, few West. Or can be your say, DSC, you know. Ebe serve as a deterrent to others. Ain't it so be enti so obi po se bi enye nipa na se wo you obi po wo adwen se obeso ya na se mpo mo so wo mo ye no ebebo mo hu amo mo jai enti se bi nipa na e ka se na se bi a obi din apop. Don't you think say this is a medium you can also use total deviation
a total deviation total deviation ya mo bodi wa futu okay ye tufu se wa wo ye boni bi ana ye susu se
ehun yi na etwa e de ye
adase opa obitima asete za wona wo ye nyina aha wona ye
examiner
wo pese yanka ya mina sama meka menka ya mina sem
me pacho
se me pese establish wona be se menka enye same na se menka because menene ye colleagues
on the panel
and I want to set you what deviate
o ba ya no another case enye no niama ho judgment me say o for another case enye no niama ho judgment o eno na enye deviation and I use you enu mom no to justify the case in question
and no dey wona wo kan say me deviate because you know examiner na
you matter mama doctor be do
I think say
a good person a neutral for the middle I remember here
Abraham just said embrane there
as come try one to be better
but there be say and no to poison na dog so try no or the na ba middle
no so abna first issue am peda making day indeed honorable Wontumi there is a good president were set. Make a good, I mean, as far as rule of law you're concerned, or you would sapa. Am I hand Ghana for a pay pepper ye, no crazy in especially in our governance. Into the judgment in our Abano. I am very sure that a lot of Ghanaians are equally happy about the judgment, not because they were tanwoon to me or whoever. Ghanaians are happy probably because they feel the law is now working. However, no, to them honorable and my people now so work, no, it's also a lesson to Nankasa and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Because in the necessary ways of but Ochna. Inti or lessons one once one year one because issues were be sure that people are also observing people are also monitoring once one year one no one make sure that say actually when you are which obey pepe on fancy be from because on was the munia me pedo chebi obey to no one could do baby na fi maybe zero. And not just, I mean, they are all Ghanaians. But more importantly, NPP who raise the issue, me feel they equally have to listen. And that is the selectiveness of the justice or the judgment. Okay. Sometimes, or they lead by example, especially when it comes to them idea, them perception of what they say, what ban or power, anything good, anything bad is okay. The same. I think they some make it the last time maybe Bisa Joseph Aminasam regarding Awuku when investigations are worried about him. As we speak, reports behind them on bay. Meanwhile, I want to make the case. He was 1 year crime. I think just within 1 year. Okay, no judgments were it's equally around the same time. Not the other issues in your means in the and obey. It's only fair if government wants us to believe in ne approach towards ensuring good governance. One very good example though. We are trying Wontumi these are the reports, these are the outcomes. So that the usual thinking there, politicians in the Nabana
sorry. Yeah, mean case now. Sammi a person yanka wasema me yes menka still mo person yanka wasema wo se menka wasema
me there be the honorable okay
the menka wasema
there be honorable Dr. Abedu kasa
we didn't know
Dr. Abedu kasa put the money in your we am my time Dr. Abedu kasa
you inti my problem is this case there I think that means master mercy they should just make sure we believe in there on your selective judgment being awarded and way on your demand young crofis who they want to wire word or be we don't know what's going to happen now it be also another witch hunting I don't think it's Obohen as a country or Henderson as a country but the good thing also is that if indeed Wontumi has been trialed and the good thing also is that so I mean as they are now I mean also in government now so that if Sammi eventually when you BBR one come for one what it will mean there one by own
okay
parties are actually doors then as a memo bar and I will kind of example
that BBR
and yet that chance
one by own okay
no think I'll bet my
Abena but President Muhammad another president may even come from within NDC will be take certain actions on Mohan and also another
President Mosquito
the same one for us we should just make sure that the right thing is being done NPP for the I mean I would to know it's in the right direction. Court is before we are, you have the right to appeal. May I share for 1 day? They should just use the law or will appeal be 1 year. Won't follow all the due process to the highest all you available to them. What we wouldn't want to see in there, and now you mobilize or trying demonstration or trying now you go. I mean that kind of political patronage, See, they attach some of these discussions now. But they today, whether good or bad, no. And I think they also in that sense no on shutdown and then on board. We expect they will also be used the rule of law. Na mbrakwando no and more way to know than way too. Not them kind of popularism trying to appeal to the emotions of people. No, one detaching from you. Why one? Now you deal the issues and not the other side. But I think
dog when you see J environment and when say Kobanese appeal no, or more appealing. I mean, ruling no more over 10 years. Will you be happy?
I said yesterday there. Say Wontumi, even if it's a 1 week in pool, that's all the man. For me, is the punishment, is the deterrent factor in it. Okay. Now I'm happy about. But in terms of appeal, no, I'm not in a position to tell the judge there. Fanu Bonnet and another among them 20 years. The same as much. And when nobody tell me that appeal, no, it makes. I mean, ought to assume another no, my judge na canano or correct. But for me, what most important thing is there. Law no on yejuma as it is.
Okay.
The same one. As it stands now, the Wontumi being sentenced as an environmentalist and pay the issues I raised with Galam saying home community. Why not? I'm happy about it. That's myself. But I need them to take the pace there. After this, no. Why them? They have he has the rights. I mean, Point Kabianka, I will also appeal definitely in saying one. That is why the law is there.
Okay,
yes, but in as much as I can appeal, I'm saying many are a lawyer, right? Appeal no, I near my meal. So I could waste the court on a time. I will appeal ending now so of ma. It be another man could talk by 5 years if you are there. I come. And there was a share a year or say maybe a minority declares Wontumi political prisoner. Almost say Yura Chachu. Ne now so enomo ebefa. One dear no. Chachu Victor Solo Mine. Now when Edina
no won't say the meeting so case omo go steer one more time na and I make sure say so no appeal here and later
say appeal nyani na ye kwa appeal la nyo bia na kwa appeal la
but how can you determine say baby
men determine me say also me tell me o me fa so me say we should be guided say or have that you say until I make us a lawyer appeal ukoya appeal na ni nyina so wa waste the court on a time one. Court no so be waste also time. Nti omo appeal no mo koye ne mo yi. Okay. So that your chairman ya don know Ashanti region and ko be national chairman. Mun ko fa 5 years e ko kan nfie. E no ye dey wo. But e braso say politician ye boni na mere di no na ye de no kotumu a. Yanya yedi akire a yanya kapre free bibia mu no yema 11 cedis ni 22 cedis ni 50 cedis no emma yen misbehave.
Okay,
we should be guided. President Mahama eba no odin kan and eniama a oman mu hafo gina so to abama President Mahama ne say de na nko yie no ye be reset omo di sika ye do me fa bra kwan so. Enti omo a na omo hwe oman no so no eye politicians na omo hwe oman no so. Enti sade achi na you invite politician bia ya invite na say oye politician ti keke. But bibi na won ho ne so o me yede o me ya no. And bibia no was a bo and minji ni say bibia bo President Mahama na the government we because you tisi abonten a ye wa manfo mkoto abama NDC President Mahama because no mo pe say change ba na manfo bia o ma di sika wo kwan bone so o mo di tumi etiatia akofo so wo niam bisu nkontabu ba enti say President Mahama faili one na Attorney General faili so mbe yes ade na campaign promise a social contract between the government of NDC tamani a campaign no yeah campaign no ne so say na mo hwe say e be implement e be implement b e be implement c no we so your campaign promise kese a e was implement a ene ne say ye nche obi a ne hu ni asem keke mfa no nkonkoto efiase eno de President Mahama enye sa because we law if I say Oman is governed by law, rule of law, and your rule of man or men. Change the ANC. And to be your friend, and even your uncle for Muko Yoko every day. Dean or Mukoba. You investigate to a more. ebi wo ha investigate ya na investigation ko si so say yen hye omo ni prima facie ayi bia the person is but say omo nya nyina so ne ye de nipa na ekwa enye party asem na ye party asem ebegu oman no nti say kase my prosecute obi under NPP NDC because omo ye politicians omo kuta positions ebi so ekope positions nti enja omo asa na ebesi sa nti na oman no ye kwa ni man na ye ba ye chi nti for now dear baby Wontumi wo bia no sebe haye ya me mana hodin na onwo ho kopim say 20 years no me ka say because say me hu appeal nti enkopim say 20 years me hu ayi bia so we are speaking to 20 but me nim say be me asame ahye tuntum ene efie ho omo nyina be hye tuntum omo nyina be hye tuntum pe na enye tuntum keke na omo hye e wo say efie ho security ya tighten no because me nim there e betimi asi wo chamber ne ba mesre me nua asame no say na no ye hye no omo tanafom and omo hye tuntum the next move no ye sre omo ma yemfa mra na nya adwuma because omo hye otimre hye bojefia o hye mra na ye hye mra wi ne ye san dan no se ye ma mra na nya adwuma na mra na ye ma asame ba me hye bojefia o ka ho ne voice tem bia e ka ho ne ye hye mra no na mfa so be ne ba so ti mesre se ye hye mra na se mra na san dia ko 2019 mra ya parliament ho a ye hye no de adi onipa ne ye kana sem no ti esro mo e ho ye me hye bojefia ene mo ma news bia enche da nya yi me fire ho ma me todwa se wo de tuntum ne de e fata no ukokuro bi so a o manage a o mo hye tuntum ana abaga na yesa reho ba ene o mo hye tuntum
mate
enti nya ye nko ye
madam for the records no utie judgment abano a Wontumi yanjeli ne so akowi aban sika yanjeli ne se na oye galamse yejeli Wontumi because say a third party aba ye galamse won asase so nti eno must be settled. NPP echo appeal no on two grounds. One, yejeli say prosecution no Wontumi establish any evidence I demonstrate say Wontumi assigning a mineral right at the third party. Again, the submission of no case earlier no you file here with the appeals court no. Still an court name determined here. We still stand by that. But metie minia so na sena meka no no nsia ne bo anopa ebo enumre nti ene bia no bibia na wo ye bia no asan adwen ho so beyond no nsia abo anopa no ne ha adwen kakra ne se okase obi aye bone na enunti no I said we are not going to the appeals court say omun determine say Wontumi bone awaye no no monte so we are going on the face of evidence that the trial judge and the court erred in the decision because he did say the key ingredient in proving a criminal your friend is saying establishing a conviction in a criminal case and it's will prove it beyond reasonable doubt. And only ejidi say no prosecution and a court no entimi ama no andedi. That notwithstanding, we are law abiding party. Sebe patapapio to credit ranero. In as much as we disagreed with the decision of the court, ejidi say besia use mrano ano to correct a atemu na abano. Because he jano sa to stand now. Say na Dr. Abedu Kano. He is preaching and praying against witch hunting in the future. And nothing a year court appeal. Send a bear, don't come a biano. A buying for Emma, a year NPP a buying, and cited the same precedent and found this for be bring concubum. We believe says Anwa and no bomb mine. Now, a sans also ye a beer on so many matters. And that I want to be very clear. A beer on so many matters.
Matters like
I mean, there's so many things happening in our judicial system. Oshe, the very trial judge on Onutana cases. The reason why we also want to believe say the first ruling in high profile cases. I see a shena yet challenging the decision of the court. That's the same judge who did the SkyTrain matter. involving Professor Ameyawe Kunfi. That's the same judge also did the Gift Owari case. Into the earlier decision be ba now did say you disagree on a point of law, and our appeals where you want to adduce evidence and judge and consider at the lower court, and you also believe so say court necessary amfa emrani bi enyina so anya adwuma nti minia Azuma say na only NPP da no yemfa emrabone so and register in displeasure. Once we disagree with the court, we've also established the fact that emra bit me afasu na yet studio ha menene na to parliament and our buying minister the catches over 400 million edikoye nkoko nketenkete ye wie no nkofo send any video so marry nkoko no but that's it
nkoko na ye nkoko nketenkete we nko ade aya mentan ka me yonko candidate for topics almost set
any me ma won kan wasem ma wo say
fanisa debate o won pa dia ye debate nti
perception where such that thing you never say say nkoko no ya nkonye almost say you beto nko we dia akoko ma obi no wanya akoko no wawe wankoto akoko wankoto frozen akoko enti sa akoko na omunye ya omowe e achievement
nti no be you see prove ni akom yem no yes
wona woka
mate mame na wase obi akoko ni dia mo ni e be cheye